Our next guest, Ambassador Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, was the first ever Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at the U.S. State Department under former President Biden. She's kind enough to join us from Cleveland tonight. And Ambassador, let's start with, please, your reaction to President Trump characterizing DEI programs as, quote, dangerous, demeaning, and immoral, claiming they violate civil rights laws and amount to illegal discrimination.
Well, thank you for having me. It shows a lack of understanding of what DEIA is. It is an effort to level the playing field for all federal workers, to ensure that discrimination and bias does not enter into hiring, assignment, or promotion issues. We know that there have been biases in government hiring and the private sector as well. Statistically, it has been proven. We are trying to get leaders, managers to take care of all of their employees, to provide professional development, equal opportunity. That is what DEIA does, and it does not discriminate. When you make these changes that level the playing field, it's good for every employee.
Why do you think there is such pushback right now against these types of programs? Is it misinformation? Is it disinformation, or just the politics of the time?
I believe it's a combination of all three, unfortunately. There is fear, certainly from some who recognize they may not be the best person for the job. They know that they got the job because they knew the hiring manager, or they had something in common, or they went to the same school, or the hiring manager is just comfortable with someone who looks like them. And in leadership positions, certainly in the State Department, 83% of the senior positions are held by white Americans and over 60% by men. So women and minorities have a harder time sometimes making those connections, joining the in club, as it were, that gives them the opportunity to have access to moving up the ladder. DEIA brought additional transparency and accountability so that people had to make the case, I'm hiring this person, and lay out why they're hiring them, as opposed to just bringing in a friend. Yeah. So we are trying to level the playing field, not put someone else at the top of the pyramid.
Some of those deals were made at golf clubs that women and people of color weren't even allowed to attend to. How are you feeling then now, seeing the work of your department and the progress it made being wiped out with an executive order?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't believe it's going to be wiped out. Two reasons. Number one, it started under President Trump in his previous administration. There was a small coterie of DEIA practitioners. It was expanded under President Biden, but it had already begun because everyone wants to work for an organization that values their contributions. They want to belong to an organization. They're going to get a fair shot to be able to advance, to reach their full potential. The second reason I don't think it's going to be wiped out is because, as I said, people want that work to be done. They want inclusion. They want people to help them with their professional development, regardless of their background. And people understand that a diverse workforce expands opportunities for recommendations, solutions, thinking outside of the box by having a diverse group address the challenges and the problems. So it's good for America, and every American deserves the right to be a public servant, to serve the country to the best of their ability.
After saying that, when you hear Trump now pledging to make America a better place by forging a society that is colorblind and merit-based, what do you think of that?
Well, I think he doesn't understand what's happening right now, which is an effort to be colorblind and merit-based. It is. But, you know, we do come in different colors. We do come with different lived experiences and backgrounds. The point isn't to ignore it. The point is to use it for the betterment of the nation and our prosperity and the world.
Ambassador, we appreciate your time and your insights. Are you upset about this before I let you go? I saw you making the rounds today. You've been talking a lot today about this. This is important for you because this is your work, and this is important work that you did. How are you feeling then?
I am frustrated because it is so important. But I know I've been hearing from so many people from my office and around the government about how important this is, and that we are not trying to put, let's be frank, white men back in charge of all of the government. All of us need to be able to contribute. And they have smeared women and minorities by suggesting that we are getting jobs and positions based on our gender or our race or other positions. And that is a smear. We're about merit, and so the work continues.
Yeah.
I won't give up. Others will not give up.
And I know we sat beside them in those university classes. We were there too, trying to earn our stripes. Thank you, Ambassador. Ambassador Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, former Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at the U.S. State Department. Ambassador, thank you.